Hi, in this section of video tutorials, we are going to see how to build a simple list report application with search and analytical capabilities. So the end result of the application will look like this. We'll be having a search criteria where we have a default search button, and then we have a couple of filters by sales order ID and business partner ID, and then the data is displayed in the format of a smart table, and we will add an analytical capabilities in order to give the subtotal of the gross amount and the net amount. So this is what we are going to develop in this particular chapter. So the steps to develop would be: first, we will go ahead and create a simple base CDS view, which will uh, which will act as a data model, which will give us the data that has to be displayed in the table. And then we will annotate the CDS view with the search annotations, and then the analytical annotations, and then we will publish that CDS view as a OData service. And finally, we will consume that OData service and build an application using the Fiori element. So we are going to use this list report template for building that. So some of the annotations that I'm going to use in this chapter is, in order to provide the search criteria, we are going to use this annotation search, where we have this search annotation properties like searchable is equal to true, which tells the Fiori application that it has to create a default search criteria. And then we are going to specify which element has to be considered and what is the fuzziness threshold, whether how much of the data should match in order to consider that record as a selected. And then in order to display the fields in the smart filter bar, we are going to use this UI annotation called um, UI dot selection field, and we are going to create our filter criteria. Then for the analytical purpose, we are going to use this annotation called default aggregation, with which we can do some aggregation activities like sum, count, uh, minimum, maximum, average, and so on. So we will be just using the sum functionality. You can explore whatever the different other options are available for this default aggregation. And apart from that, in order to display the table control, we are going to use this UI dot line item annotation, and we will be using this UI dot identification, which may not be much useful in this particular example. Then we will be using this UI dot header info in order to display the header information. So now let's go on and build a simple hands-on application which demonstrate this development process.